Get out of there. Good evening. I wanted to call to order the August 8th, 2025 meting of the Tree
August
Advisory
8th.
Commission.
September.
September 20, September 8th, sorry. Please correct that, if you will.
I think I did that.
Call to order the Tree Advisory Commission meeting for September 8th, 2025. First, we'll start with roll call. Let record show that Art Walker, Alice Reel, Linda Susky, Edward Ryan are present, and that Walcott Davis is absent. Also in attendance, Mr. Lear and Mr. Draper. So good evening, thanks for coming. I guess first order of business, we should approval of the minutes, which were July's minutes. Kind of a lot in there. Pardon? Well, if there aren't any comments.
We have to move it first, and then you have to move it, and then you have comments.
So moved. Oh, that,
Okay.
acknowledging that we're going to review the minutes? Sorry. Please advise me how to conduct
My
the meeting.
understanding is that when there's a motion on the floor to,
Approve the minutes.
approve the minutes, that you make the motion and then there's discussion about any amendments to it and then motions goes
So
on.
that's the case.
Okay. That was my intention. To see
So
if there were any.
you have moved, that we
Yeah.
approve.
Approve the minutes.
Approve the minutes. So if there are no comments, no further comments, does somebody second the?
Does anybody have any comments? No, I guess not. I second the motion, I guess. I move that we approve the minutes? Yes.
So I was gonna bring up some points that I think will come up anyway in the applications.
Okay,
And for the.
so I need a second for the approval then.
I second the motion to approve the minutes for July 7th.
Then we need a vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let the record show, all are in favor. So the minutes are accepted. Still learning. First, the next is public comments. I just wanted to make a comment that I apologize to the commission for not holding an August 2025 Tree Advisory Commission meeting. Sort of got some advice from people saying that it was standard and tradition not to have a meeting in August. And was told that we were only required to have 4 meetings a year. But in retrospect, I think we probably should have held an August meeting because we have enough business to attend to. And I don't foresee canceling any more meetings. I think we should go with the idea that we do have 12 meetings. And that's just a comment from me. Next item, agenda item is to look at old business tabled applications or old applications. And the one that's on the agenda is application 2025-18 for a tree removal of 23 West 3rd Street. We tabled that in July. Mrs. Reel was in favor of the removal, and I withheld, hoping to find out more about the tree. Since that time, I don't know that I found out more. Well, I visited the site again, looked at it more carefully.
Was Norm gonna take a look at it?
Yes,
Okay,
Oh,
did-
that's a good time to bring up our advisory assessment papers. I don't know if anybody has one on that application.
I do.
Yes.
Okay, so let's use that as a guide. But if you wanted to comment, Norm, on,
Oh, did you get a chance to look at it, Norm, at all?
yes.
Or you don't wanna comment on it?
I mean, it should be removed.
yeah, I'll go along with that. I changed my opinion. I think that it should be removed, that it's an appropriate site. The tree doesn't look healthy. It's leaning precipitously on the house. And for several other reasons, there are tree rims on the building. there's damage to the upper part of the tree, I think I noticed. And I would change my recommendation. I checked the box to approve.
Well, Paul, I'd like to make a motion to approve the request for the tree removal.
I second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show that we've approved the application 2025-18 for the removal. I think we should add planting a new tree. Was the resident's request.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
But the record-
I make a motion that we, put the, 23 West Third Street, where we removed the tree on the list for tree planting when a possible appropriate available.
second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
That should.
And I'm not sure if this is the right time to bring up a comment related to this, this agenda item. The reason that I didn't support removing at that time was when I looked at the tree, I just didn't feel I had the expertise to decide when is a tree salvageable by trimming or treatment and when is it too far gone and should be removed, or when, and, what I was thinking is HAC has an historic architecture expert who's an official advisor to HAC. I don't know if either of you are an official advisor to TAC in a similar capacity. And if not, if that's a good, I mean, I think that the historian on, that's an advisor, she's, an ex officio advisor who gets the agenda, contributes to the conversation. I know that there's been an issue that you guys haven't gotten the agenda in the past, and are they serving in any kind of an official capacity, and if not?
If I could speak to that, they are serving in a consultant of capacity. As such, they are not going to get a copy of the packet, but there's packets available that they can look at the meeting, but they will not be sent a packet.
Okay, that makes it hard for them to do their
Yeah,
job.
Well-
You'd have to take that up with the city administrator.
Okay,
We can do that.
So this last one, it was brought up at a meeting or two, maybe when we were walking the streets. So Ed emailed me this page because I don't live in the city. I need a good week or 2 weeks to look at everything.
But you're doing this without pay, am I right?
Yes, but I mean, I was approved by Bill.
And that, I'm sure he approved you
Martel.
without pay.
What's that?
I'm sure he approved anything without pay, but I'm wondering if maybe
It
there
was pretty
should
brief approval.
be, maybe there should be some pay involved.
Well, I'm not looking for that.
You don't want that?
I'm not looking for that, no.
Okay, that's different.
I'm wondering if I know that Leila Haroun, the architectural advisor.
City council appointed her.
Okay, and these guys were not appointed by city council, there's the difference.
Yeah, I sent the packets to the advisors.
Okay,
I made that decision, and I'll check with Antonina on that
Okay,
to see if that's improper. But again, I don't know how they can lend their expertise if they're not aware of what's going to come up on the agenda.
right, like
Well,
Leila, I know, goes around and inspects houses on the agenda
Is it-
report
is
so
it-
she can do her job of advising.
is it like proprietary of some kind? I wouldn't think so. Okay,
You mean the information being
yeah,
too private or?
I wouldn't think so. Anyway,
Okay,
Okay. Try to question down, so I'm not sure. So.
You can't. And news for you.
That ankle monitor, I'm so used to it.
another question, Ed, these forms, which are fantastic. Please thank Amy again for this was so helpful. Are these collected, made part of the record, or are these just for approval?
I'd be willing to hold on to them. In case anybody wanted some documentation as to who made the decision. I'll collect them after the meeting,
Okay.
okay, if that's all right.
Mhm.
So if somebody else wants to take them, they're welcome to. Okay. So I think we've finished with old business. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll lose track of where I'm at here. Next is new business, and that starts with application 2025-22 from Mrs. Davis regarding the ash tree at 24 East Third Street. And we discussed the ash tree treatment plan, I think at the July meeting. And Walcott was going to look into, how many trees, I think it was determined that there were 6 trees. And whether he was gonna contact someone at Bartlett to find out if they were due. And he responded to my question saying that they would be due for biannual ash borer treatment next year. And that they would send an estimate.
Okay, so I move that we table the application for 24 East Third Street until we get an estimate of costs of the ash treatment.
Well, I was thinking that we should approve it and say that we would add it to a list of trees that
Okay,
Walcott determined the location of 6 trees. I
Okay.
believe. I think
okay.
I have those.
So to make that motion?
I have that list for tonight,
And I think, let's see. Well, I make the motion that we approve the tree for the next scheduled ash borer beetle treatment.
Second?
All in favor?
And
Comments, I'm sorry.
discussion before we move to a vote.
Yes, thank you, Linda.
This was one other item on the agenda, which is an example of where I just didn't feel I had the expertise. I know we had a discussion about ash borers, but when I looked at the tree, it looked perfectly healthy to me. So another example about where having an official appointed advisor that can get the agenda ahead of time to look at it and help us would be really helpful. I just felt I didn't have the expertise.
Thank you for reminding me. I skipped right over the assessment. Anybody want to share theirs, or I can? I thought the
I
tree
think
looked
we've
healthy.
seconded the motion already.
Yeah.
We have to vote for the motion?
Well, can we
No,
just, can we run down
it's
the?
seconded, but then that's
Then
when
we
it
gotta have
comes
this
to discussion.
Oh, okay.
Table.
Art hasn't had a chance, I think, to use the form. Maybe you've seen it.
I wasn't here last time.
Okay.
It's my understanding that the ash is subject to the ash borer, and that this is almost a preventative measure to prevent the tree from being diseased. So, I'm not an expert on it, but that was my understanding.
I think there was some criteria that if the tree had a certain loss of health or life, that it might be disqualified for treatment. But from my estimation, the tree seemed to be healthy.
Right, we would have been too late. in
It
those
lost a big
cases.
branch recently,
Ah,
and the city fell off in the storm probably a month ago. And so there's a scar on it, but otherwise the tree looks to be healthy.
yeah, it does.
And I think Walcott's relation to the applicant
Oh, that's right, it's his mother.
might suggest that,
Yeah,
he's looked at the situation. That's what he seemed to indicate when I
okay.
asked him about. Would you like to share your evaluation? You said you weren't.
Yeah, the only thing I noticed was that bark missing from the upper limb, and otherwise it looked like a healthy tree. But, I understand that it's preventative treatment for ash
I
trees.
think that's the intention. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Do you concur that it should be treated? And Ron? Okay. If there are no further comments, I think we have already approved it for, should we do it again? I'll make a motion that we approve.
We already seconded the motion, so we
Yeah.
just now.
All you have to do is vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And there's another ash tree in the back of the Davis's house, and they've been treating that for years. So I think it's a very nice thing that you're doing. Having that one treated out front.
That was the one where we were discussing whether the tree on the front of the Jefferson House was part of it, right? Was on city property or city property.
No, that was a Dutch elm.
That
Was
was
that
an L,
Dutch
elm?
yeah.
That was an elm, yeah.
So I have to tell you that I did the budget. I asked Diane about the budget. And she said we've already done the Dutch elm thing
Correct.
for $33,000 or something. I thought that we were putting that off. Am I wrong about that?
No, we
No,
approved
we-
that.
Oh, we did it. Okay, all right, okay.
And I saw a guy doing it in front of the Amstel House. I watched him and he showed me what he was doing. It was pretty interesting.
Okay, cool.
Right, yeah.
I mean, he had points all around the base of the tree where he was injecting a solution using a pump. It's kind of interesting. Okay. So we're finished with item 20, application 2025-22. Was approved. Next is agenda item 20, application 2025-23. For removal of branch on Gray Street. 910 Gray Street.
No, it's actually, if you look at the address, it says
Oh.
ninth,
Look at his
Ninth
application.
and Gray, and I went over to look at it today, and Mr. Dorf was actually sitting in his front yard, so we had a conversation, and his concern was with the trees across the street from his, not the tree.
Oh, I missed that.
Well, I can
Because
tell you
this tree
right.
on his property is not city property, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Although
Oh.
he had opinions about that, but I didn't go there.
I thought it was determined that it was city property, because we had an application for the house on the end of the block last month.
Well, there are big yards in front and a
It's true.
tree is in the middle.
It's on.
But he's
the
not talking
house
about
of- Well,
his.
anyway, it's not his.
Oh, see, I
It's,
missed that.
Across the street are a row of row houses, probably built in the late 1800s, and in front of them, I don't know if they're sycamores or London planes, I don't know the difference.
They're sick.
Very old, I mean, I would say the same age as the ones on Sixth Street. And, his concern was that the bark was flaking off, and I took the liberty of saying that, yeah, that's normal for a sycamore, and many people think that's what makes them beautiful, having them on the truck.
nice.
He felt that there was,
The picture is at the one in front of his house.
right.
Yeah.
They looked fine to me. There are a couple that are really leaning into the street, and I would expect that at some point they may become a danger to the street, but I don't have the expertise to tell if they're a problem right now, but
Do you know the address, Linda?
it would be
Where
the
it should be?
trees, it was about 6 trees running from
It's across the
901 to
street from the one you
930.
have the picture of.
901 to 933.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was,
one particular tree. I'm sorry.
No, it's a row of 5 of them that.
But what's he want done to it?
He
Something-
doesn't want the bark to peel.
I mean, does he want all of those trees trimmed?
No, he, you know, if you notice, he just said other, and I noticed that. I think some people, when they submit an application, they just want to alert us that a tree might not be healthy, and they're not making a specific request to have it pruned or treated or removed. They just want to alert us.
Yeah.
And I think this was the case here. He's not requesting specific action, he just didn't think they were healthy.
you know, it's interesting
Okay.
because we talk about, Sixth Street and the cover, you know, the cover from the London Plains there. And the gray is the same way. I mean, you know, that one side of the street, yes, they're over the street, but that's kind of what they do.
Right.
You know, so, I noticed those trees, cause they were very close to the street and that they were covering
Yeah,
the
they're
street.
lovely.
They are,
Really
there's
makes a
no-
very striking street.
Yeah, there's no reason to do anything with those.
It's
So-
interesting to note that those trees are very, very close to the houses.
Mm-hmm.
And to my knowledge, in the last 10 years, nobody has ever complained that they're in the sewer or that they're hurting the foundation.
I wonder why that is. I mean, I wonder if there's just no damage or if there's very compliant people. I don't know what it is.
They also did look,
You're very kind to say that.
and I didn't go from there straight over to Sixth Street, they look like they might be a little bit smaller, a little bit newer. they're large, but they're.
They are.
They're tall, yeah.
Yeah,
They're a lot, they're a lot closer to the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, I move that we, decline, disapprove the application for pruning of the trees on Gray Street.
Could I offer a suggestion that we specify, because he didn't really request any action, that we say
It's a
that
pruning
we
request,
decline
isn't
to, the application just says other, and he just said bark is falling off tree, so maybe make clear that we decline to trim or remove the tree or tree, we decline to take any action with the trees.
Do we have
Okay.
enough information? I mean, should we, have some more people look at it? No offense to your evaluation, but,
That's up to you. I mean, I know very little about trees, but I know a sycamore and I know one of the characteristics
I
of
mean,
the
from
bark.
what, I wasn't, I mean, I was looking at a tree in front of Mr. Doyle's house, so, I didn't have the right place.
But cause I talked to him, he's complaining about the bark peeling. And there is no remedy to that unless you cut the trees down.
I don't think we need.
Yeah, my mother has a phrase for a dirty tree that sheds a lot. I was wondering if maybe the stresses of this summer with the rain and then the heat and the drought, maybe, because he said they're shedding more than they usually do. He said that he's lived there for 20 years. And I was wondering if maybe the weather stress was causing them to, it's up to you if you want to table it.
No, I'm in favor of, I would second the motion to deny. You made a motion to deny the application.
Yes,
I would second the,
but I think with your language instead,
Yeah,
That we deny-
that
yeah,
we
we
decline to
take any
Right.
action
take any action.
for the trees on Gray Street.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. To deny the application. This takes us to, application 2025-24. 11 East Second Street, pruning request.
But again, it's different. He's not requesting his home. He's requesting
Even though, again, he took the picture of
Delaware
his own-
Street
Delaware
between.
Street, I don't get it.
Not the sycamore in front of his house?
No.
No, it's,
It's
well, I was assuming it was somebody from the city that when they upload these applications, they were pulling, this is a photo off of Google and I thought they were just taking. screenshots
okay.
To supplement the
Right.
application.
It's the service berries on Delaware Street. He thinks
between-
they're too close, the foliage is too close to the street and it's at eye level. A gentleman stopped me about a year ago and said, what can we be doing with these trees? We can't even get out of the car because the branches are right at level of the car. And I had some sympathy for it because it was true, they were. Now they're not. So I don't think there's any reason for us to do anything with those trees.
What is the address of the trees?
It's
are located?
between Third and Fifth on Delaware Street.
Okay, thank you.
When I walked up and down Delaware Street there, I did see two trees that could hit people as they're walking down the sidewalk. One is, and I don't know the address and they didn't have the number posted on the building, but it's across Fourth Street from the Amstel House. It used to be Sheila Shannon's house. And it's one of the Van Dyke houses. To the right of the doorway, there's some kind of a weeping tree and it's growing out to the sidewalk.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
that's
not-
what you're talking about. I think
that's
it's-
not
I
on-
don't think that's what they're talking about, but I just thought in terms of things that need to be trimmed on the sidewalk.
I think these are the business people on Delaware Street that are complaining about the service berries.
Well, the sidewalks are really wide, so there's plenty of room for pedestrians to move around them.
Like I said, I had some sympathy last year when you'd open the car door and the branch would be right there. That's not the case now, so I don't see any reason to do that.
This is in front of the Masonic Hall or the.
Yeah.
Autonomous Hall.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of them,
Those
on
are,
both
those are
sides.
fire starters.
Are they? I'm sorry, I thought
Those
they
are
were
fire
service.
starters and they're really starting to grow up now.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're fine,
yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
you know.
Anyway, the other problem that I saw for people walking on the street is in the rear garden of the Amstel house. There's an enormous holly that's reaching over the brick wall and hanging down quite a bit, but the tree is on Historic Society property,
Yeah,
so
we
it's
wouldn't
not
be
the
able to do
city
anything about that anyway.
responsibility. So I'm sorry, Norm, I interrupted you and you were saying something about.
Well, the tree at Sheila's, they planted that. And I don't know how far, I don't know who's it on. Is it on city property or their property?
And I don't know, because
Well,
the house goes right up to the sidewalk and there's
Right.
this little space in front of the
No,
house.
no, this is 313. This is right on the corner across from Bridgewater.
Right,
Yeah, that's, I think that's a crepe myrtle, and Sheila and her husband planted that not too long ago. And it's always been droopy like that. That's why I use the other side of the street.
right.
Yeah.
So it's not city property, but they planted it.
No, I think it's theirs, you know, they
Okay.
put it in, and it's, again, it's right up against the house, and it has its own little tree pit. Yeah. Nothing against Sheila, she did many wonderful things,
Yeah.
but,
Oh, you were on the tree commission too, wasn't she?
She was.
Yes, that's right.
yeah.
Did we have a motion for that?
I still have a question. I'm a little making notes. I kind of lost track of, exactly what trees. I mean, I would want to contact Mr. Struble and let him know, what we came up with, but I'm not sure now where we're talking about. Is this in front of the Masonic Temple?
It's all the way.
On that side?
It's on both sides of Delaware Street, from Third Street up to Fifth Street. It's new trees planted on both sides that are about, I don't know if there's the same variety, but they're about the same size on both sides.
He thinks the branches are too low.
Right.
Okay.
I think that just from what I know of this, the area, my guess is we're only talking about the Bridgewater Street side, because that's the commercial properties and that's what he's concerned about. I don't think he cares about the other side. But again, that's just from what I've heard, and, so between the Third and Fifth on Bridgewater side, like I said, it used to be that those trees were very low, not anymore, so. But if you wanted, do you want to talk to him before we do anything? Is that what you're saying?
No, I would, now that I understand, I think, Ron's comments are appropriate. These are fairly new trees and they'll be pruned when it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And, it's all,
Department will be trimming them in February,
it's all under control.
yeah.
So I'll tell him that,
Okay, I make a motion that we deny the request for pruning of the trees on Delaware Street between Third and Fifth.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Application 2025-24 denied. I will touch base with them though. I intend to call everybody or email everybody who's as an application. That's how we resolve it, or what we recommend, what we recommend to the city. Next item is 2025-25, which is located at 168 East Third Street. And
There's an ugly tree.
there's
Well, there's two.
there's two trees.
Are there two? I
Yeah.
only saw that one that he had a picture of, and I looked at that and I thought, oh, that's ugly. But I didn't think it was,
The
should
dogwood
be removed.
on the left, I think he was looking to get it trimmed. Tree has no shapes, growing in all directions.
It's a dogwood.
It's a dogwood, right? And then there's a tree on the right that is pretty shabby looking.
This is the tree I was looking at here.
This is the dogwood. Yeah, that's the other one on the right-hand side. And that tree looks to me like it's dead or dying. It's really stubby and short, and it's kind of close to the dogwood. Does anybody want to share their evaluation, their assessment?
Well, I get some feedback with, and it's just a question, that when somebody is submitting an application for two very different trees with very different concerns, is it okay to have them both on one application, or should there be a separate application for each tree? I'm new on.
Procedural, yeah.
Cause.
It's pretty rare that there would be two in the same,
Okay,
front of the same property, but
then we'll just deal with it.
any comment, thoughts on that? Should it require a separate application?
I wouldn't think if it's on the same property.
Yeah, I was just thinking for record keeping, if there's two different decisions, might be harder to track.
But it looked like the one tree should probably come out, I mean, that.
The one that's dead in the middle?
Been kind of a problem for a long time. But, you know, there's one other aspect of all this. People put the tree in, or I think in that case they did. Someone did, because we didn't. And then you leave it. And then you let it grow up, and if you don't trim it or do something along the way, you can end up with a jumble. And then people want something done with it. Same thing could have been said of the house on the Strand that has the hornbeam that the Beals wanted trimmed. I mean, it's a mature tree now. So it's very difficult to go back, and that's how I felt about the two trees. The one was kind of broken up and should come out. And the other one, yeah, and then the other one next to it, you know, was kind of a odd shape to it. I mean, it's not anything like a typical dogwood, at least from my standpoint.
I thought it looked, fairly typical, a little bit reaching, but
Yeah, I have to say, I didn't look at this so much because I was so fascinated by this. But, and I didn't realize that this was part of the deal here, so I don't really have an opinion about the dogwood. But I wondered if you could get the inside of this one and take it out and maybe prune it and if it could live. But I don't know, you don't think so? You
What,
think it should
the
come
red
out?
bud?
Yeah,
No.
You're talking about the red bud?
Yeah,
the second picture,
Yeah, but why, if you took the insides out, you wouldn't have anything left.
yeah, okay. All right, then
I looked at both pretty closely to understand them, and dogwoods are usually what they call an understory tree. They're growing under bigger trees, and they're supposed to have a fairly lacy, open effect. So the dogwood looked just fine to me, not an appropriate maybe tree to plant there, but I didn't see anything unhealthy about it. The other one, I couldn't even tell what it was. There's one branch in the middle that's dead, and this reminds me a bit of the one on West Third Street,
Right.
where if there's one branch that's dead, that's where I don't have the expertise to say, could you cut out that branch, because the rest of the tree looked fine. And it seems that's cheaper than removing a tree and replacing it. So I just, my thought was try cutting out the dead branch, see how it does, making sure there were some parts that were pretty close, not touching her building, but pretty close to it, maybe trim that back, make sure that it's clear from the wires. That's something else that wasn't quite, it seemed a little close to the wires. But would it make sense to try cutting at that center branch? And Norm's saying no, and I absolutely defer to him.
I feel the same way.
Okay,
same way.
okay.
I think we should approve, I think we should make a motion to, remove the tree on the right. That's more than 30% dead, and leave the dogwood alone.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Here's the red bud.
Do you understand? Is that clear, Kathy?
Yes.
We'd remove the tree on the right, leave the one on the left alone.
Yep.
I'll recommend that.
So it's like
I'll contact
half
Ms. Hatton.
approve and half deny.
Yeah. Approved and denied.
About the replacement, it says with replacement too for the tree.
Good point. Sorry.
Gotta replace
Thank
it
you.
with something.
I don't know if it's appropriate to put another tree next to the dogwood. I don't think so. I think one tree. Maybe eventually if the neighbor wanted one to the north, past the tree that's coming down.
Yeah.
That might be a good spot, but
the dogwood might start to fill out better
yeah.
when it doesn't have to
Possible,
come
yeah.
in there, and might get a little more light.
So I make a motion that we not approve the planting of a new tree at this point.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, new. Okay, move along to, application 2025-26. 65 West Fourth Street, Dawn Cackley requests that tree be removed and replaced. I have an assessment here, but somebody would like to share theirs.
Yeah,
Take
she
it
said,
down.
go ahead, huh?
I said, please, in the mercy of the.
Tonight.
Take it down.
Take it down. Yeah, we've been after this tree for.
Really?
For a
Well, I
while.
was gonna say no,
Go ahead.
because half the tree is really nice, beautiful, healthy. It just has one branch that's broken, that's dead. Can it be?
Are we talking about the
Rehab?
same tree?
And we
On
didn't talk, and I
65
had the same,
West Fourth?
there was one side branch, not
Right here.
a central
This
branch.
is the tree. Look at it. It's beautiful at the top. It's got one branch that's dead. I don't know. If Ron wants to take it down though, that's something. So
Listen.
I should defer to him, but
No, no way, but.
when she first talked to me about this, she was talking about pruning and I was all for that. But now it's removal and replacement. If you do we have one of our usual trees ready to go there? Oh, no.
Yes, ma'am.
You do? Oh, well, then
Yeah.
maybe,
I think we can improve upon that.
okay.
Oh, this is one that we've looked at like about 3 times.
Right, yeah,
It's got-
I looked at it again.
A lot of, you looked at it again, got a lot of damage on it.
Okay.
I Looked at the
What's
right.
the damage from?
I put down here that,
What did you say, Ed?
I had that it should be, but I swear I think I was looking at a different tree. I thought this was a real little small.
No, that's the one next door.
Look at this house. There's a second page of pictures.
Yeah, that's, she's making her case by showing you, getting the right
Well, I mean,
angle there, the dead
that
branch.
was dead.
That's a dead branch, but look at the tree, and this is the tree here.
Where's that branch?
It's over here. Like right over here.
And up here.
Yes, that goes all the way, yeah. However, on the other hand, if Ron and Norm say that it should come down and we have a replacement ready, see, see here, this is it, right here, this is the dead one.
I would table it and go down as a committee.
No, I don't wanna do. I hate tabling things.
Norm, do you have any thoughts?
Remove it.
Okay.
Okay,
I have a question about, should having another tree ready be a condition for approving? I mean, there's a long list of people who want trees.
well, only because this has been, the West Fourth Street has had many trees planted along. And so to continue that, to make it more homogeneous and more beautiful, that they're all basically the same size and age. No, generally, no, I don't think so. But because if we did that, we'd never remove a tree. You know what I mean?
But
Well-
then if we stay on Fourth Street indefinitely, they won't go very, I mean, I get
There's
your
only
point.
one area, one place left for tree on West Fourth Street.
Okay.
Oh, there are two, actually. We already approved one, didn't we?
Number 45.
Yeah. Did we put that in yet?
That's next to Joe,
Yeah.
so that spot's open, and then there's nothing really down there until that tree.
Right.
But I think if you feel uncomfortable about it, why not go down and look again and.
Well, I've looked at this tree many times.
outside.
I live 2 doors down.
Well, take some really good pictures of it, bring it in and, convince the group.
We have 6 photos here.
Like
We have
Linda,
6 photos.
like Linda, I don't have expertise in this.
I
If
don't,
you think that that one dead leaf is enough to say this tree is diseased and it's going to come down and needs to come down, I will defer to you on that. I know Dawn would love it.
yeah, she gives me the raspberry every time I walk down.
Yeah, I know she does. And it does
But I-
go into her house, I think, right? Or did I say that? Lower section is fine, the upper section has lost a third or more of its form. The tree does not look healthy. I don't know if it's diseased or if it's, I assume it's either insect infested or diseased in that one branch. Yes, it is interfering with overhead wires, so I guess the one side of it that's so pretty sort of blinded me to the other part, I guess, I don't know.
Then prune
All right, I make a motion that we remove the tree
it. No,
at 65 West
no,
Fourth
but
Street.
you could prune it before you did that, if it made you, maybe.
Well, what my recommendation was that we prune it rather than remove it.
That's what I just said, yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's actually what I wrote down
Yeah.
here.
That's my recommendation too.
So,
So you,
what, we can give it a try, right? To see if it's gonna be a little lopsided, but not too bad.
I make a motion that we, recommend pruning the tree at 65 West Fourth Street.
Okay,
Um,
second, okay, that's,
Anyone
that end.
care to second the motion?
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 25, application 2526, we recommend for pruning. And I'll try to be specific with Mr. Delgado about, well, I'll go look at it again, but I think we're talking about pruning the dead limb. And, see what they can do, I guess.
Yeah.
And then prune. Okay. Next, application 2025-27, 523 Cherry Street. You look at the application requests a tree be planted in an existing tree pit on Cherry Street. There's an empty plot in the sidewalk. And if you look at the picture, it's pretty ugly. But if you go down there, you'll find out that they removed the concrete, bricked the sidewalk, and put in a tree pit where that opening is. And it's quite lovely there.
And it's got
They did.
houses and it's been weeded. It looks very different.
Yeah, it looks totally different than
Yeah,
here.
I thought it was appropriate, but the question is, if we approve it, how long will it be before that tree is planted there? I mean, we've got a long list, don't we?
Right.
And Linda said something to me, we happened to run into each other when we were evaluating, and she said, well, if it's not on the plan, do we have a plan that's so specific that it takes in only, that we only have those in our sites, or can we add to them? And you know what I mean, like, is there a very specific plan?
Let me put it in.
Yeah, there's a plan.
Put the question a different way. We have a lot of empty tree pits around the city. A lot of them have been filled over the last 5 or 10 years, but there's still a lot left to go. She put in a request, and if we approve this, well, what about all the other empty tree pits? How do we prioritize? Which get planted this year, which ones go on the list, which ones we say, yes, we know there's an empty tree pit there, but we don't have the resources to fill all of them, maybe reapply in a couple of years. I don't have a sense of what the priorities are since we can't plant everything.
Well, I know what the priorities are, but the difficulty is getting the watering done.
Yes,
So
That's what Antonina
the
said.
city
right?
can only water up to X, and we can only take certain trees off after they've been watered for 3 to 4 years, depending on what the tree is.
Your friends, that are helping you, forget what her name was, this beautiful name she has, I'm trying to remember, the young girl who was helping you for a
Right, Annalise and
Yeah,
Alexander.
Annalise and her brother. Are they working for the city when they do that work like that? Would they be interested in doing some watering if we
Well,
could go
right now,
beyond?
they're watering 22 trees between Fifth and Sixth Street. And then they water 1, 2, 3, 4 other trees. And then they go up to the farm, which will be no more shortly. And they've been watering anywhere from 10 to about 14 trees up there.
What do you mean it will be?
Because Sorry.
Are we now planting those trees? Is that what we're doing or what's happening? There will be no more. What do you mean?
You have to plant them.
Yeah, they have to.
They
come out.
cannot stay in those pots any longer.
Oh, they're in pots.
Right,
Yes.
Oh,
and then,
okay.
and then there will
I
be
didn't
no
know there
more
were
trees at the farm.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
But listen, it's a great question, and I think one of the questions that Ed posed to Antonina was whether it would be reasonable for the committee to enlist something like Wilcox to come in and water trees every week. And I believe she said that that's not a possibility.
That's correct.
Why not?
See, we've had this watering problem for, you know, a decade now. And Annalise and Sophia and other people have done watering only because I've tried to expand the number of trees that we're able to plant. But, you know, we've got another 20 people that want trees. And then if you're gonna follow the dictum of every tree we take out, we put another one in, you know, you're probably up to at least another 25 trees. Then the question is, how do they all get watered? So if you take 10 trees off this fall for next spring, you know, legitimately, you can put another 10 on because Rick feels that he can water about 75 trees safely. But we've been watering over 100 trees by virtue of having someone else come in. But my thinking now is you have a good sized budget. You know, what's wrong with employing some of it to do the most difficult thing that there is in this whole process, to keep the trees alive?
Well, the decision I was told was that we're not permitted to use the budget for that. That if the city wanted to expend more resources on watering the trees, they might increase the manpower, the labor force, or the number of hours that their labor force works and meet the demand that way, but it wouldn't be approved to
Which
hire
goes back,
somebody.
back to Linda's question, it makes it impossible.
Yeah, sorry I didn't mean to ignore you.
It makes it impossible for the committee to make a decision about your question. You're trying to prioritize. For example, Mr. Whitehead was in here not too long ago, and I behaved very poorly with him, trying to console him and tried to get him to slow down and not take it too seriously. He was out just recently and he's very keen on having a tree, right? And so the question again
who's gonna
is,
pay for it, right?
we not only have done that, but there's an anonymous donor who has agreed to pay for one right next door for his neighbor. And the three of us have already talked about it, but why would we do that? Because there was a tree right in between the two of them. It was taken out and another tree can't go back in there because there's a big stump. So how does Mr. Whitehead get a tree? You move up about 15 feet, put it in the middle of two windows, but then the neighbor who shared the tree before is saying, well, what about me? So
We had that with
very
the
similar to
house.
117
Yeah.
and 119.
We can't
So
get
we
rid of.
put
the-
that in and we're gonna, you know,
Stump
fix-
out.
well,
The stump's been taken out.
yeah.
Even
Well, no,
when
it
it's
hasn't been
round,
taken out, it's
there's
been
some
shaved
roots
down
that you can't-
enough so we can put the brick over the top of it.
Really?
That stump is in the ground, right?
I didn't examine it
Yeah.
that close.
Let me add yet another layer to this, because I know that, I think it's West Fourth Street where we're relying on the residents of the street to keep the trees watered. I know there's one street on the west side.
West Fourth.
Yeah,
People are
Listen,
watering.
the people on West Fourth are saints. They've been watering for 2 years. They have not lost a tree. I mean, it's amazing. The trees really look good down there.
but while I was walking around, one of the, somebody I know came out and said, oh, are you on the tree commission looking at trees? Let me tell you about the tree next door to mine. And the tree next door to hers had been vacant, so she had been keeping it watered.
This is 3133. This is Seal.
Yes.
Seal, yes.
And now the house has been sold, new person has moved in. And he said that he talked to somebody coming by with a watering truck who said, don't worry, we'll keep the tree watered.
Right.
Um,
And the tree was not watered last week.
Well, the bigger issue though is when you have, you know, an agreement that the homeowners will keep the newly planted trees watered because the city will only keep what, 40 or whatever
Right.
trees watered. What if somebody moves away, somebody new comes in who doesn't know or doesn't care about this informal agreement?
Right.
What if it's a rental tenant moves, you know, it made me realize how tenuous it
Right.
is when you get people to say, oh, I'll take care of keeping that tree watered. Things can change and all of a sudden the tree stops getting watered.
Well, that was an experiment on Fourth Street, you know, to ask the people to do that. We haven't on other streets. I mean, you and your neighbor do that.
Right.
And Rolando and Tara do theirs, and, you know, so there are people around doing that.
Mhm.
But if you're gonna put in 4, 5, 6, 8 in an area, you need consistency, right?
Right.
You need Wilcox or someone to come in once a week with a truck and take care of it. And that's what I think the direction needs to go, and I don't know how to get there, but I'm not gonna be concerned about it.
I don't think I don't think the resources are there, is what I was told. One of our responsibilities is to, let's see here, basically promote, you know, urban tree guidelines and promote, maybe we could do more to enlist the cooperation of, residents. To me, it seems intuitive that you would water a tree in front of your house, especially if it's a new tree.
Especially if you requested it.
Well, yeah, and
You know,
even,
why, this woman at Cherry Street, I would think.
even
she was-
not, I mean, why don't we start making some public announcements in print announcements, whatever, from some, you know, whether it's on the city website, in the weekly, in the municipal services
The
thing,
code corner.
asking people, you know, giving people information and tips and on how to care for the tree pit, how to water the tree, when to water the tree, how much to water the tree, and enlist, you know, citizens to be responsible. At least, you know, it's an alternative to spending any money, which we might not be able to do. And then I want to go back to this application, sort of got waylaid from Mrs. Kennedy's. First of all, if anybody's seen that, is that an appropriate site to
Yeah,
put a street tree?
yes.
All the other tree pits on that street do have trees versus the only
There
tree.
might
pit.
only be, what, one other tree?
No, I think there are two.
Two.
Yeah. Space down the street,
Okay.
yeah.
But it's a pretty small tree pit. Is it gonna get enough water? Again, but I think she would water it. What about the possibility of giving people some direction on how to put their own tree in? What if they buy their own tree? They buy a younger tree than a 2-year-old or 3-year-old tree. And you know, but it comes from a list and, you know, they feel some ownership and responsibility for it.
Well, that's already a possibility on, I mean, the application is actually for a permit to plant
Yeah.
a tree the way it's phrased, right? I think the form is ready for some updating, but that's for another time. The guy who's developing the land at the river end of Harmony Street, we approved he could plant a tree at his own.
Yeah, I spoke to
expense,
Mr.
and
Lorenzo,
so-
or I communicated with him. Yeah, he was given permission. We approved his application to plant a tree. And I gave him some information and he was grateful and seemed to be willing to take that responsibility.
Well,
But
how
where are
about
you
if we,
gonna find the tree, I think is the question.
Yeah, he's got to contact
And
the
who would,
city or TAC to get some approval on where to put it.
how about if we say, we will approve a tree in that location? If you want to wait, could be a couple of years for a tree to be planted by the city, then you can do that, or you can take our advice about which tree to plant, and you can plant it on your own.
but I think it needs to be a certain size because your street trees have to be pruned from an early age. So they say they put a 3-gallon tree in, are they gonna know how to prune it?
No,
So then you say, okay, it has to be, you have to put in a bigger tree that's already been trained and limbed up.
expensive, huh?
Well,
Well,
But I mean, we have to approve, can we say we have to approve that tree for that location?
Yeah, I was just.
you already have a list of trees suitable,
Right.
but they could go the inexpensive route and get a 3-gallon one. And then who's gonna prune that? Who's gonna grow that tree? They're gonna water it.
What I'm saying is maybe we could specify exactly how big the tree has to be. I don't know, I'm just.
Or we
just
could
throwing
say,
it out
you
there.
know, they could plant a tree subject to TAC approval of the specific tree, the size, the variety.
You know, but where are you gonna find the variety? That's, just about 2/3 of the trees on our list, maybe more, come from Oregon. And you say, well, why do we bother with that? Well, because that's where the cultivars are growing.
Yeah, it's a specialized.
And then the other question, or the other concern, I guess, is they send them here, with a fairly good-sized caliper, which means they've been in a pot or a series of pots for a number of years before they get here. So you put them in and you only have to water them like 3 years and then they're a tree. But if you get something that's 5, 6 feet tall and just stick it in, you know, you might have to water that tree for 5, 6, 7 years to get it big enough. Because that's what they do at the nursery, right? They buy liners from Schmidt. And then they put them in a big long line and then they water them consecutively year after year. Then, as Norman is suggesting, they prune them here. You know, they're training your tree.
For several years.
Yeah, so what you're getting is a real product, right? And someplace like Schmidt grows the best trees in America.
Could we say we will buy a tree for you, but, it costs this, how much money are we talking about?
It's not so much well, it is partly the cost, but it's like, you have to pay to put it in, you have to pay to water it, or not pay, but you have to put it on the list.
Well, what
I
I'm-
mean, you
what I'm saying-
create another list of, people who want trees, who are willing to pay for it. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, that's never been clear. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a real good thing you're asking here, because there was a time when a lot of people paid for the trees.
Yeah, I know.
And Tom Maddox and Scott Savage would go out and talk to people. Yes, we can plant this, it'll cost you X. And then we had some people donating money to buy trees that didn't want the tree specifically. So I think it's a bit muddled. And even with Mr. Whitehead, you know, he's saying, why should I pay $300 for a tree? And you're across the street and you're thinking about putting other trees in there.
He knows why. He was here. We
Yeah.
said, if you wanna wait, great. But
Right.
if you don't wanna wait, you put your own tree in.
Well, it's easy to forget it, but yeah, it's not
It's not
I
practical
guess what I'm
to,
saying, it's not a simple process. And there are people that, you know, when you work out on the street, you get, like in the area I've been working in, suddenly I have 4 people out on the street and they're all interested in a tree now.
And that's what worries me here
Yeah.
is, you know, if she gets a tree, then all the other people with empty tree pits could flood us with.
Yeah.
but there's a backlog of people that have already been approved for trees.
Right,
yeah, it might even be hard to produce that list, but I think it's. pretty
Because it goes
significant.
back since I've been here.
It's significant, yeah.
Well, so maybe we should approve it and then, say it will be, quite a while before we get to your property. And then see what their reaction is. Maybe their reaction will be, can we put one in? And then we have that discussion.
Well, maybe that's what they're asking in the first place. It's a permit, like a
Well,
permit.
it's always a permit though.
Can we put it in? And then the question again is, where do you get the tree?
Again, but those are discussions that can be had if they decide that they wanna do it. You know what I mean? We don't have to decide that now. We just
No.
say, okay, it's approved, but it's put on our list, which is quite long.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
But then we have a list that, you know, that the tree must, you know, come from.
Oh, sure.
Because we want it to be a certain size.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, and then But
If they say to us, well, can we put one in of our own? Can we do it? We say, yes, but we have to approve the tree, where it comes from, how big it is, et cetera, et cetera.
How are we gonna track
it'll
all
never
that?
happen.
Yeah, how you gonna track all
It'll
that?
never
Then-
happen.
Then it doesn't happen.
They won't,
So do they not have the right to put a tree in? They're asking for a planning permit.
Well,
It's always
everybody
a
is.
planning
If they
permit.
want a tree, and it's the only form, it says,
No, sometimes it's remove and replace.
No, I'm saying,
Most of what we see is remove and replace or.
but
prune.
anytime somebody wants a tree, it's always a permit they're asking for. And we
Right, but
always
there
do it.
are. We're dealing with removal and replacement permits. This is.
What I'm saying is that's that's a semantic thing.
It's a
Because
category. They wanna plant a tree. I think they wanna plant a tree. If we say it's gonna be 2 or 3 years, they're gonna say,
what would they,
we'll plant our
where,
own tree.
okay, where would they put it if they wanted us to plant a tree?
Oh, you're right. I got your point. Okay, so maybe they don't wanna plant a tree. You think they're gonna wait 2 years, 3 years?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Can't we just approve it and say, but it's gonna be a long time because we've got a big long backlist?
there was.
And then if they decide that they wanna do it, then we can go through that discussion about what will be involved.
or the
Well, why
other,
are they gonna bother and ask again?
Hmm?
Why are they gonna bother, if you approve it, why are they gonna bother and ask you again?
We're not, okay, yes, you're right about that. We have to say, if you are approved for our planting, for us to plant the tree.
In 2028.
Yeah,
There
you're right about that, though. If we say you approved, yeah, we have to say,
Proof to
you are
add
put
to
on
the
our
tree
list for planting.
And we had, at some other meeting a few months ago that I was at, we took an action like that. It was a planting request. And I think we said subject to availability.
Right.
And didn't give a time frame like 2020, but just said subject to
So
availability.
can we say, yes, we approve it in the sense that you are put on our list for our planting a tree based on availability? Would that work?
It may satisfy them, it may not. It wouldn't satisfy me, but
so what if someone else comes along and just says, I'd like to help people, plant, trees in town?
That would never happen.
And so
I'm kidding, it already did happen, obviously.
Yeah, but, you know, isn't that an issue? I mean, does it, you know, I mean, if the person wants to water their own tree, and there's someone around who says, you know, you should have a tree. You know, you're wonderful, you help so-and-so on the street here, and then, you know, you're gonna get your trees.
Great,
That's all right?
why wouldn't it be?
Oh, good, okay,
wait a minute, how do you,
that's good to know.
If the trees are exactly what we would want to plant,
Yes, they would be from the list, and
what, we're gonna turn down, we're gonna say, no, you can't plant trees?
no, but I'm just saying, what if a person, you know, kind of circumvents the list, right?
If they wanna spend all their money to circumvent the list, are we gonna say, no, you can't spend your money on these trees?
Okay,
Am I wrong about that?
No, street side trees are city property.
you can't?
Street side trees are city property.
Yeah, well, they would have to be with all the restrictions that this becomes city property when you put it in front of your house, right?
Yeah, I mean, the city code, you know, makes very clear that street side trees are.
I mean, if somebody says, I've got $10,000 and I live on West Fifth Street, East Fifth Street, whatever. And I see there's pits there, and I really would love to spend my money on trees to beautify my street. And tree commission, tell me what trees I can put in, tell me exactly how I can go about it. I've got $10,000, what can I do? Should we say, no, you can't?
I would hope not,
There you go, as I'm saying.
okay.
This is actually a related question, because you mentioned hiring a private watering company to water the trees that the city is unable to water. ballpark idea of how much that would cost?
It would cost about, the last time I checked, it was $150 a week to do 1 hour. So I figured in 1 hour, you could probably do another 25 trees.
Okay.
So about $300,
That's $600 a month.
For about 25 trees?
25, maybe even 30.
No, 150 a week, he said.
If they have a high powered generator, what would you say, Bill? They'd be, well, Bill, how are you?
I got your back.
About, thank you, about,
There's nobody.
a minute and a half per tree?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we
you
should.
could probably do 35
I mean,
maybe
it's
in a.
theoretical.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
all
as long as you can
theoretical.
get up there.
Well,
Just so they're in order, right, so they're not running all over town to do it. So you could probably do another 32 trees, let's say,
Okay.
For an hour, in an hour,
for 1 hour, so it'd be about $150, yeah.
per week.
Every month.
So, from when to when would they be watered?
Probably from, maybe late May until, Thanksgiving.
Okay,
Okay.
June, July, August, September, October, November, so that's 6 months, 6.5 months.
Okay.
Steve, Linda, I think this is a good approach. You get someone to make some trees available, although you don't need it now. You know, with the kind of budget you have, how are you
Yeah,
gonna spend your money? And it keeps you awake at night.
Well, I know I spoke to the city administrator, and she would like to see a limit of about 6 to 8 trees per season, twice a year. So about 12 to 18 trees a year. She thinks that's a
Well, if
reasonable.
we're taking 22 trees off every year, we should be able
No,
to.
she's
put at
talking
least
about,
22
she's talking
here.
about actually planting.
No, but I mean, it's
At-
because of
at
the
our-
watering
at the
that
budget.
it's because of the
Well,
watering.
yeah, it's partly because of the watering, yeah. Yeah, I guess largely because of the watering and largely to keep within the budget. Partly to keep within the budget. Those were her comments, I don't know.
So if you had a $5,000 grant, how many trees could you plant? If you had, the top bidder,
15,
uh,
15 or 20 trees.
yeah, something like that. If you figure about $350 a tree, something like that, especially now, if you had them planted, or if you had the winning bid from Gateway, yes. If the winning bid was from, if they didn't participate, and you had Antonio and Davy and Bartlett, you'd be paying something like about $800 a tree.
Wow,
Oh,
Listen,
I
you
mean, I
people have been
realize it's
living on High Street.
good value.
Life has been very easy for you. At $350 a tree, over 10 years, Alice. That number has not really gone
it's
up.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I make a motion that we, with regards to application 2025-27, that I make a motion that we approve the planting of a tree upon availability.
Our plant, we approve of our planting of a tree,
Yes.
rather than their planting of a tree, right? Based on availability.
Yeah, the consensus seems to be that it's not very practical to have individual homeowners finding and planting and
Yeah.
maintaining the tree.
Yeah, the question is, if they get approval, will they think that they're being approved to plant a tree?
Well, I can tell them
Okay, yeah.
in the
right,
email that
sure.
they're not.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I second that then.
All in favor?
Aye.
So I will notify the applicant that, subject to availability, that the Tree Advisory Commission will supervise the planting of a tree.
There you go.
Okay, moving along. Application 2025-28,
Oh,
16
And-
West Fourth Street. Yes.
one of the things that Mary Grace noted was that the plot is overgrown with weeds. It looks better now,
It's all
but
clean.
when you communicate, maybe reminder that weeding is the responsibility of the homeowner, you know, like carrying the bricks kind of falls in that category. But the city doesn't weed the.
How about if she filled the space with a nice
Sure.
potted shrub? So when the tree's available,
There you go.
lift the pot out,
Uh-huh.
push it back up against the house, put the tree.
I would recommend that, yes.
And she
You know,
does
she
have
wants to
some
fill
nice
space.
hostas growing there. It looked like maybe a couple weeds were growing through it looked much better than it did with the.
We're on Upper Fourth Street. West, but getting near Delaware Street.
Right.
Suzanne Swift, at 16 West Fourth. Old Alfred residence, has a very large tree,
Yeah.
lovely tree, very
Beautiful
healthy.
tree.
Um,
It is hitting the building though, and
Mhm.
it is, interfering with the overhead wires, although I don't know if that's what she's concerned about. She's mostly concerned about, I think, about the, getting the
That's
building.
a willow oak, and
Willow
I've worked on Sarah and Susan's sidewalk there 3 times now.
Why? Because it keeps breaking up the sidewalk?
Yeah,
Oh.
well, it belongs in the park, and it's a very young tree.
Is it?
Yes,
Uh-oh.
that's a 70-footer.
This tree will
Whoa.
grow for 300 years.
Whoa.
If it was allowed.
I wouldn't guarantee that.
There's one in Bill Bartell's yard. Willow oak. In Bill Bartell's yard.
Yeah.
That's been there for, well, I saw a picture of, 100-year-old picture of it. It was a gigantic tree then.
Yeah. But you're right, it's possible it may go 300, but that's the kind of setting it barely belongs in that great big lot next to Bill's.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a park tree.
But it's there and, she wants it pruned,
Well,
said that, branches are impacting cables, cable service.
And they are.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's healthy looking.
Mhm.
It's a very healthy tree. But it does need to be pruned.
Yeah.
You know, I would probably, off the record, I'm not making a motion that we, approve it pruned. But
Oh, yeah.
also, we could let the homeowner know that they could employ a professional to trim this tree at their expense. And they would probably get a different result than they would if the city trimmed it. If they were willing to consider that.
Yeah, I wonder about that with a lot of things, because my tree I used to have was pruned by the city, and it was,
Not pleasant.
oh gosh, painful. Apparently, this was before I moved in there, but apparently there was a Christmas tree, Christmas light wiring on the tree. And rather than take that down, they just cut the tree anyway, and the wiring was still on the tree as it was pruned. But anyway,
Or you're gonna say the wiring had grown into.
it had
into the
after a
bark.
while, yes, but anyway. Okay, I make a motion that we approve the pruning of the tree at 16 West Fourth Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You know, that's the only willow oak that I know of that's out on the street. And I think it might be, I know it's something you don't wanna do.
Should come down someday. Yeah.
So, somewhere in the future, that tree has to come out of there because you know,
That's
you'll
painful.
be able to get three people to, put their arms around it.
Oh, that kind of tree. We're talking like,
Oh, yes, yes.
oh my God, oh my God.
Ben and Sarah put this in not too long ago, like, maybe 25, 30 years ago.
Wow. Oh,
That's my concern.
yeah, you maybe you would have mentioned that then too. Now would be a better time to take it down than
Well,
20 years ago.
It's a touchy subject, of
Yeah,
course,
it is.
because, it's Sarah's tree,
Yeah,
and Sarah lives there.
yeah.
I would never recommend it now, but I'm just saying that in the future, that this is something you need to, put a mark on, because
Well, it's a city tree technically. I mean, it might be unfair to, Sarah, did you say?
Sarah Hutchinson, yes.
To cut the tree down, but if that was the decision of the city, it's a city tree, right?
Well,
It's on a city sidewalk.
the question always is, you can, but should you?
Well, you're saying it should, we're kind of saying
This is
it should be.
the Stan Swift though, the problem, that's our
I
problem.
think eventually it has to be removed, right?
Did Sarah plant that tree? Because it's Suzanne Swift's property.
Well, she told me that she and Ben planted the tree. I was working up
It is
on
kind
the
of
sidewalk.
great, yeah.
The sidewalk keeps, pushing up.
Yeah.
I can show you why.
Okay, we finished that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
At 6:15, moving along to, the last application onto the, agenda tonight is Alicia Marchesani. This is West Fifth Street, right between the driveways to the Methodist Church parking lot. And, Mrs. Marchiani had an application 2025-19 in July, and we denied it. And I neglected to notify her. And then this application 2025-29 came this month for August, and it requests the same, that the tree be removed. Mr. Lear, have you seen this tree by chance?
Yeah, yes, I have.
Yeah, we looked at it.
It's growing up against their house. In the front.
But it's not touching it yet. It's
Oh,
getting
it is.
close. Oh, that-
I didn't notice that either.
In my estimation, it's on the house. It's a second request for removal. She said that roots
It's
are
over.
impacting the water line.
What?
She said that roots are impacting the water line, and MSC Municipal Services told her the tree is half dead. And she
Doesn't
wants
look
it,
good to me.
she wants it pruned. I think she wants it removed.
She wants-
Don't put it pruned.
She wants it removed.
Well-
Pretty
Oh, why did I have that it was pruning? Oh. I don't see any reason to remove that, do you?
Uh,
I mean, if,
Could you
What?
weigh in? What do you think?
Remove it.
Remove it.
why?
It's been butchered.
Oh, well, we remove a lot of trees for that reason.
Well, yeah, you are.
Okay, well, I take your, okay. Again,
I had to recommend it for removal also because
just
it's,
remove, not replace.
it's, impacting the sidewalk. It's, up against their house. It's, it doesn't look like a tree that could be pruned.
It doesn't.
The way it grows is, pretty straight. I don't know. Any other comments, please? Weigh in.
No.
The only comment I would make, there are two issues. One, the health of the tree, and the other was the sewer issues. And it reminded me of the Sixth Street issue, and that it would be very helpful if the homeowner would provide documentation of underground issues that we can't see. But if we're going to remove it just because of what we see above it, help the tree above it, then that's irrelevant in this case.
You know. I make a motion, we approve the removal of the tree at 20 West Fifth Street.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. And this is a recommendation. Ultimately, the decision is made by, city administrator and the director of public works. That takes us through the agenda items for, new business and, going down to section 3, I guess, or 4. Time for member comments and discussion. Item number 1 is the budget report.
Okay, I have a report.
We have a report.
I asked Diane Delgado to give me a rundown of what we have laid out already. She said we paid $3,073 for Bartlett for the Dutch elm treatment that has been done. And $1,065 to Brandywine Valley Services for stump grinding, and I was hoping maybe you knew what stumps had been ground, if they'd all
I do.
been ground.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mr. Draper informed me.
okay. The remainder was for security at the last meeting. Now, here's the problem. Our budget is 40,000. I checked it again. And if we add all those things together, it's 40,854.28, which would that's before even the money for the security. So my guess is it should be 35,716.28 with $145.72 for security rather than what she told me, 36,
It's just security.
145.
Oh, a month?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's expensive.
Who earns that?
The police. The guy sitting out there. I believe he actually makes money, the guy sitting up.
I know the office does close at 5 o'clock.
So anyway, that's it. It's a lovely thing to have a balance of $35,000, almost 36,000. It is, it's daunting.
But isn't an increase of $10,000 was
It's
made
for the trees
for,
on West Sixth Street. Yeah.
to potentially deal
Yeah.
with the issuance.
Speaking of which, the tree in front of, is it 10?
16.
16, is down.
Yes,
I don't know
it
who
is.
took it down. Who, do you know, the Bartlett took it down? Who took it down? Did the city
Yeah.
take it down?
I can tell you about that.
Oh, okay, good,
That's Mr. Del Coglin,
yes.
the application 2025 07. The city administrator and director of public works made the decision to contact Delmarva because the power lines are Delmarva power lines. And Delmarva hired or contracted, arranged for Kendall tree removal to remove all the branches within 10 feet of the wires, which meant that they cut all the branches off and left the trunk. And then Public Works was gonna take the trunk down because the tree was a hazard to safety. The sidewalk is raised and presumably.
Can they do that for the other trees on
cost.
that street?
That's to be determined, I guess.
Or that we approved the removal of 3 other trees, so I'm wondering if
Well, we
can get it
recommended,
done.
yeah, we recommended
We recommended the.
based on further information. So the further information, I think, was gathered by Mr. Delgado about Del Coglin, 16 West Sixth. And he also has some opinions about, that I guess are okay to share on, the plaintiff, the people who brought the limbs in, brought the roots in. He said that the tree roots are not responsible for the sewer line damage, that the sewer is beneath the roots, and that sewer decay is kind of, he didn't say this, but I read recently that it's kind of normal for clay pipes or terracotta pipes to collapse, and for cast iron pipes to rust from the inside. And they can stop working effectively and break down, and the homeowner has to make a repair. He showed me a drawing. He made a drawing that showed that the sewer lines were below the level of the tree roots.
What is his background?
I'm
Is he an engineer?
not sure, but I think he makes those decisions, some of those assessments.
I'm
I didn't-
stunned because I thought we had approved the removal of those trees.
Well, I think.
I didn't know it was because of, until further information, I thought we had said, yes, take them down.
But our
Well,
action
that's-
is a recommendation.
That's just a
Well, the
recommendation.
recommendation, yeah, but our recommendation is always, shouldn't say always. The recommendation must have been approved because they gave us $10,000 to do it.
My understanding is that was done in anticipation of what might need to be done. And they're still looking into the other applications.
Okay,
I think, I will ask that specifically.
this is like the application that wouldn't die. You know?
Right,
Yeah, thank you. As I remember it, this committee voted to keep the trees in. And then Alice was going to put something together that would defend the position, which she did and submitted it. And then it was the city that changed their mind. But basically, from the standpoint of this committee, you recommended that those trees remain in. That's how I remember it being left.
It was.
And I think that's an important point, and I'm not gonna get into it here, but
Right, but after that,
I know what happened after
yeah,
that.
after that, we said,
That was
okay,
not
fine.
a vote. And-
It was.
But no, you don't need another vote after you've taken one with the committee that says, we wish this not to be done. I mean, if you people wanna do it, you can.
Okay.
The record shows from July that a motion was made by Ms. Reel to approve removal of trees at the three addresses, pending research stating that the city has the authority to remove the trees.
Right, the authority.
The motion was seconded and was unanimously passed. So it's
So it was
basically,
passed. You-
Yeah.
You voted again on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was subject to our saying we had the authority to do it.
Cause it's a state road and those trees might be on state property rather than city property.
I think Mr. Delgado determined that we have the authority.
Okay.
Well, whether they make the decision to do that is undetermined. I think we have to wait and see.
Okay,
and I'm sorry, I thought you said you tabled that motion.
I was a little confused until I went over the minutes of the July meeting. That was my sort of understanding. In fact, there's two motions in the record. We changed the first one, which is on page 2. The
So the
motion
first,
was made to approve the removal of the trees. The motion was seconded, but it wasn't voted on.
so it never was passed.
Because there was a question about whose property
Yeah.
it was, and Art was waiting for another piece of information so he could give us an answer.
Mark.
Well, that was back
That was
before
way
July.
after. But
Many months ago.
Here's the thing,
I think they,
it's excruciating to vote to take down those trees, excruciating. So to think that you had to bite the bullet and make a determination which you hated, that you didn't want to do, and then to find out you might have to do it again, it's just,
Well,
I can't take
But
it.
I think
really
the good
can't.
news, Alice, is that you gave your best opinion on beliefs that you've held for a long time. I remember you talking about where are all the trees on Sixth Street? I mean,
Yeah,
this
I was
is-
talking about East Sixth Street, actually,
I'm
but,
only talking about this because it's a recurring thing. And then the question is, did you know,
I voted to take the trees down, Ron, I did, I
yeah,
did.
but
Because-
nobody seconded it, so.
No, that was the first thing,
It
there
was
was a
seconded.
second one.
it
There
was seconded and it was passed, pending determination as to whether the city had the authority. In other words, whether it was city property or
I
state.
misunderstood what you said then, because
I think I misstated our position. I was under the impression that we had not passed it.
Right,
I was under that impression because that was back in like June, and in July, you wanted to change your vote. And we said, the vote's already been taken. Remember that?
We do,
Well, yeah, because we had said they were legacy trees,
right,
and we recommended not removing them. And then the next meeting, you had thought about it and said, yes, it should be removed. But I thought we didn't vote on that.
no, we did. And the reason I changed my mind, I told Ron this, those trees they have not ended their growth. This is going to be a continuing problem for the next 40 years. And I was kind of hoping that we dealt with it now. And I think those trees are beautiful, but if I went down there with Bartlett, with one guy from Bartlett, and we went through the trees and every one of them was bringing up the sidewalk, but only 3 were involved in this thing. And I asked him about it too, and he said, oh yeah, they're gonna continue to do that. And I thought about all those owners that are, they love the trees too, but they love their houses more, and they're losing money, and I thought, well, this has been in front of the tree commission again and again and again and again, and that we should just bite the bullet and say, start a new tradition of trees there, instead of constantly approaching the same question. That was the reason that I said, take the trees down. Now, if we're not gonna take the trees down, okay, I'm just not gonna vote on it again. I swear to God, I can't do it. I
Well,
can't do it.
but you have that problem all over the city, just on Gray Street. There's sycamores.
Yeah.
On the next street up, what was that one that you showed me? There's a sidewalk that's worse than anything, any place in the city, and it's sycamores.
That's on Seventh Street, right off of Tremont.
There's sycamores all over the city. So, and you're right. What are you gonna start cutting them down? Say
Only if they cause problems to the owners or or they're a safety hazard. So maybe if the sidewalk is all kablooey, maybe that one should be taken down.
Take the two sycamores right alongside of the mayor's house. You know, I've corrected that sidewalk twice, and those trees are still growing, and Valerie does not want those trees coming out. I never proposed they should come out, but she was very adamant that she wanted the trees. Another case in point that's just as bad, the two trees down on the Strand as you come off of Harmony, right at the parish house. Those trees are somewhere between
Yeah.
8 and 12 feet from the building, and the sidewalks are, or the brick are all over the place.
It's not an easy question
Yeah,
at all.
exactly. It
It's
isn't.
a really tough question,
Yeah.
very tough question.
Yeah.
In every case.
And that's why we sent evidence to ask city administration and council to make the decision.
Yeah.
And they made a decision to appropriate money and so we said that indicated that they were in favor of taking them down. So now it's in their court.
That's what Antonina said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they're gonna make the decision at this point as to what to do with the trees.
okay.
I mean, they did at Mr. Del Coplin's house. I mean, they made the decision to have the tree taken down.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering why they did that there. We
Sidewalks
took
in
the
really
pruning.
bad shape.
I know,
And
but,
the
you know.
homeowner was very concerned about safety of his house. So I think
Yeah,
that
but
was
he was very concerned. He said, if you're not gonna take down, at least prune it. Remember that we approved the pruning last time of that house. So I'm wondering if they went over there and they couldn't prune it. And they said, well, Del Marva come in and prune it, and then it was all over, it was done. So, I don't know. Anyway,
Excuse me, Ed, but you're kind of running out of time here, and
The clock's completely wrong.
It's 6:30.
It's about 6:30.
6:30,
Yes.
could I have 5 minutes?
sure. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
I think we've had the budget report. I don't think we need to discuss the extended watering plan.
We kind of did,
We discussed that, right? Yes, we did. These are items that were brought up in the July meeting, item number 3 and 4. Whether the commission was interested in developing a system for recording. Oh, I'm sorry. We have that. That's been in place and we used that tonight. We used a recording our evaluations and I'll collect those. So item 3 is I think, would everybody agree this was useful?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And we should continue this?
yes.
yeah.
So if everybody on the commission and the advisors would use these on a monthly basis, I think it would be helpful.
I don't know about collecting them though, just Ed, because I changed my mind
Okay.
on a couple of them, just a discussion.
I'm okay with that.
Well, and then also, like, if you email me this thing, the permits were different on like 3 of these.
As it turns out, right? We
So-
didn't know until.
Well, we don't know
people
until
brought
we
them
see them, but it,
You mean which actual location we're
Address,
talking about?
Right.
well,
Yeah.
it's removal of a branch and the guy's talking about the bark peeling off sycamores across the street.
Right, yeah.
It was like,
And he was upset that we were there.
yeah,
He said, I didn't say anything about this tree, and we said, well, it's right up against your house. Well, the issue is across the street.
While we're on the subject of Gray Street, if you go towards Susie Park, one house,
Right.
there was a, application to trim that tree. And I'm pretty sure that somebody trimmed it away from the utility pole.
Right.
And, the comment was made earlier that those aren't city trees, but I thought it was determined when we approved that for trimming that they were city trees. Even though they sit back from the sidewalk. There's a whole row of oak trees all along the
Well,
front.
Art would have looked into that. Do you remember that, Art, at all? No?
I thought you did, and we determined that, she was asking about trees in the back of the yard, in the backyard, or the side. And, but I thought it was. I thought they were city property, but that's not the point of the application. I missed your point, Lorman. Should we hold on to these? Or your point was
Well,
that your information was incomplete,
so,
inaccurate.
right, it's like, but it was inaccurate for everybody who was going off of this.
About something that's not actually a part of the application.
So does the city have the applications and make up this list?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're,
yeah, they're in the packet,
Do they have the applications?
yes.
So-
And the photos.
The city has to be a little more accurate when they're writing this up, so we can do it without postponing it till the next meeting.
That was one of Linda's points last month, was that we need a new tree work permit application that gets more information from the applicant.
No, just to have this accurate.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
on
the
the-
pictures are wrong.
Yeah. Well, we don't, I mean, I don't see this till the meeting. I'm going off of this.
Right.
And if this is accurate, then I can do something. If not, I can't give you an opinion until a month later.
Yeah, each application on the agenda should show not the address of the applicant, but the address of the trees in question. Usually the same, but not always.
yeah, I've never seen this occur, but it was what, twice
3 times. I
in this
think.
group?
Maybe the 3 times, or at least twice.
I know, but the residents are looking out for things that are necessarily on their property, and that's really a good thing.
And I'm wondering, why are you complaining about this tree? It's beautiful.
Okay, the last item on the agenda, before public comments, is about a new organizational
Oh,
system.
Ron wanted 5 minutes.
Yeah, I
Oh,
intend
okay,
to
sorry.
grant that after we discuss number
It's gonna
4.
give me 6.
Number 4 talks about an organizational system for record keeping. I know Linda presented a prototype or some ideas. I just want to say that when I met with Antonina, she said that Milt and Marika were making an effort to maintain the data in the system that Kim Muller created when she was working at the office.
Mhm.
And that we've seen, I think Ron brought in an example of that. So that's what they're planning to do. I think if the commission wants to present an alternative, I think we have to meet, probably discuss with Antonina, whether that's something that she would approve us getting involved in. Do we want to take that on? Or, do we want to see this system?
Well, Milt can tell us if it's working, right?
I mean,
It is.
Marika's working on it and working with it, and she hasn't had any issues, so. Mike is working.
And we discussed this at the last meeting, and the consensus was, if we work on that for now, that's fine. My suggestion for those of you who weren't at the last meeting was to have an inventory of all city trees, which is a much, much bigger project. And the consensus at the last meeting was that we really don't need that right now. If we just keep going, the record that would update the
Right.
record that was started a few years ago, that would be good enough for now, and that's fine with me.
But I think it would be great if that were in the form of a booklet and all of you had it, right?
Yeah, so we got an updated copy each month.
Mhm.
This could be part of the packet, for example.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, Mr.
Mr. Fu.
Sir.
That looks like a shish kebab.
Oh, it's a peace pipe.
Exactly what it is. I'm gonna give you some homework because you've been working feverish with it. You wanna go home to your loved ones. Kathy? Still on Priscilla, you don't get one.
You'll tell me later.
If you do me a big favor and just keep these in the order that they're in, I can go through them and
Thank you.
clear space.
You.
Walcott has 2 ash trees that you've been treating. They're very young. They're just probably about 10 caliper. And this is what was pushing all the bricks up. I filled a whole plastic bag with these. And it's kind of fascinating. They present themselves as up this way. Drinking water and whatever.
So it's underground? This is a root?
This is a root pushing the brick up.
Oh, wow.
Why do they form these pods or?
Norman, help us.
I've never seen anything like that.
I'll wait till it comes around and can look at it.
Man, oh, man.
Yeah, I had a whole bag of these and they were all different sizes. There were some that were probably 2-3 times that size.
But they all have these nodules?
Right.
Yep.
Yep. So part of the brick is up and you wonder, well, what happened?
Do you wanna
And then
see
you
it?
lift it and then you scratch around it.
You wanna
and then
touch
it's
No.
nodules.
Slice them off, will they ruin the root if you slice those things off? I mean, it's a very labor intensive, I know, but it's impossible.
You must have cut those.
Well, listen, I'm gonna put something to rest that's been part of what we've been doing for maybe a year and a half now. All this information about the ash treatments. Walcott and I have both confirmed that all the items on here are legitimate, and I would just add, or was planning to add, the tree that you talked about from Mary Davis. So that would add one more on here, and so we're up
That's
to
8.
probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'd be about 9 trees.
Oh, really?
Isn't there an address on there of 124 and the note says there's no tree?
Yes,
Is it possible that that was mistaken with 24? With Mary's tree?
I think Mary Davis's tree, isn't it 22 or was it 24?
24.
24. It's
But
possible.
anyway, and the trees that this root came from were at
Yeah.
at Walcott's address?
Yeah, and all I did was take what the city gave us,
Mhm.
probably from about a year ago. Yeah,
And narrowed it down to the correct number
Right.
of trees.
so this is where they are, and at least 2 of us have looked at this. Next page with the beautiful blue sky.
Yeah.
Oh, this is 124 East Fourth. I'm sorry.
What are we looking
Look
at?
familiar?
This is
Yeah.
Mr.
Did
Lorenz,
before, right,
Mr. Lorenz's
so,
property end of Harmony Street.
Yeah.
right, this was what, the Lorenz has wanted some help. Next page, please. Go down to the bottom. Dear Mark and Lori, this is a potential note you could send to them. You know, I had suggested that maybe they consider a red point maple. And the red point maple was just, unbeknownst to me at the time, selected as a golden, they gave it the Golden Tree Award 2025. This would be the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society would be a great one to put there. I think some of these red points are gonna be going somewhere else too. Up above it, you've already, someone mentioned this, Ed, it probably was you, if you're gonna get people, thinking about watering their own tree. Well, this is, something you could put on a card and drop off with them to do their own watering. You say, well, what card? Well, here's your next stationery.
Oh, very nice. That,
And I've used 11 of these so far. And have had 5 responses back. That's not bad.
No,
Are you gonna be writing any notes?
Probably not.
But I know Bill.
Never know.
You know, I'm not.
Well, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have your own stationery? I'm not suggesting this should be it. But you could have something like this and then, just include this little note about the watering, tack it in there and put as I say, I've used it a few times. And on your street, Alice, I
yes,
think I even sent you one.
yes, you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
familiar with this.
yeah.
This is very
So,
pretty.
I think it's a nice way to
I agree.
easily keep in touch and,
Yeah.
put any information on there that you want.
and promote accountability
Right.
for the tree on your street.
I like it.
I think this one's out of order. Do you have something here, code enforcement corner? See if you can
It's
find
on
it.
the agenda, on your
I
agenda.
think the next one, yes, it's a one pager, right after that, Ed. if you just- I think it's, yeah, there, you've got it.
Yeah.
So this came in
The MSC,
came in the MSC.
publication.
And, I don't know who put this together. Mills, was you or was Antonina or?
They've been using the same one as I've been explaining to.
Oh, really? Okay, so this is I haven't paid any attention to it, but I looked at this and,
I saw this too, a couple months ago.
yeah, I
I
kind
was
of.
wondering where that came from.
Me too.
Yeah, I kind of had, some questions about it. I thought, well, how many trees does the TAC oversee? And it says 1,000. Which is stunning and startling, and you wonder, well, where are they all, right? I only remember putting 250 in, and then in terms of old trees, we might have another couple hundred or so, but.
Well, maybe they're including trees like, that are down by the wildflower.
And at city parks, there are a lot of,
Yeah, well, would they be counting the battery and everything?
that's trustee property, but like the triangle at the end of, Third and Fourth Street, little pocket park, there's.
Well, that,
I once, the Flower Beautification Committee once tried to come up with an inventory of city parks, and it's amazing many different little spaces there are.
well, it's interesting to me because in 10 years, the only thing that we've barely been able to deal with is what's on the sidewalk.
Right.
And then we've got all these other responsibilities that we're supposed to be considering and, yeah. I found that kind of fascinating. And then there was this, whole idea about, no person shall do this, no person should do that. And I thought, well, maybe it could just be changed around a little bit. And I wrote this little paragraph at the bottom. A gentle reminder, tree work permit is required for planting. It kind of gives people the idea of what they can do and maybe what they should do, and maybe what they're gonna be penalized for isn't the issue, right? And I say that because there's someone that's gonna help me out on the street a little bit, and he has a tree near him with a bag on it, and I said, have you been filling that full of water? And he said, no, he said, it seems like everything I read about says, keep your hands off.
Oh,
And I didn't know what he was talking about. And so when the MSC thing came, I just accidentally, and I thought, well, maybe he's been reading that, right?
so this is a don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, where it should be, here, this is how you do it.
It could,
Yeah,
it could be.
it's the attitude,
It
yeah,
could be, and then you've got this.
right, yeah, there you go.
And the only
That's
thing
really
you're
different
missing
things.
is
Yeah,
that, right? Just the quill,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, this is a part of our responsibility. One of our duties is to promote this or public awareness,
Yeah,
which this is. And this would be an appropriate, in the same context to, ask for more specific information on the applications.
right.
So that we can make the correct recommendation.
Yeah, well, I just think there are a lot of little things that you could write up, Ed, you were talking about putting things in the paper or doing whatever. There are a lot of these little paragraph things that, you all can think of that you can slip in there and it's a.
Keep
it's a
the
good
issue in the
public
forefront.
relations. Yeah, it's a good positive thing. Well, let me move on here quickly. I found City of Wilmington issues stop work order at Galleria site over discrepancies in tree removal plan. I never heard of the Galleria in Wilmington. Well, of course, when I looked more closely, it was Wilmington, North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah. it was a
Oh,
disaster.
okay.
Oak trees being removed from the property. Huge row of big 100-year-old oak trees.
Hey, talk about painful.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then on the next one, Salt Lake, Tribune, century-old trees to be chopped down for a water line. Well, there are a ton of these, and I just thought that they reflected in some small way the issue that you're dealing with all the trees on Sixth Street. And by the way, I don't mean to really be jumping way off the track, but you were wondering what the outcome was for that sycamore that was cut down in England? Remember the two?
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They went to jail.
they went to jail for.
Yeah. For, I don't know.
4.5
interfering
years.
with a monument or something like that.
Historical.
Yeah.
Cut down a 150-year-old sycamore, they went to jail they're going to jail for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
I thought was-
It's
Well, listen,
ironic, isn't it, Ron? This is when they stop work, when all
Yeah.
the trees are gone.
yeah, the trees are gone, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, and the fellow was fined $13,000 for, not adhering to whatever. And then they worked something out where he was gonna plant, 250 trees instead of going to jail or something. Well, anyway, trees everywhere.
yeah.
But let's get down to something important and basic. Thank you, Milt, for taking 11 stumps, grinding 11 stumps down. I wanted to show you all the before and the after. This is 130 East Second Street. This was really rough, Milt. This is a lot of debris left here. This was 14 bags, I believe. And they could have been taken away in a front end loader, but the guy said, oh, no, we can do this. We're as tough as nails. But the point is, two people on this street, Leo Mattis and Charlie Kintner, bagged all that stuff. And then I brought in a bunch of brick and they fed me brick and we redid this. So if you look at the next page, it's all done in. And guess what? There's a new tree pit there.
Is this the tree pit? Is
Yes.
that, oh, okay.
So you can't put the tree where it was. We talked about it earlier. We just moved it over a little bit and bingo,
Oh,
you
right,
got
right,
it
right.
in space. But this adheres to your logic of you take one out, you put one in, right?
Yeah.
And this is it. So when there's a new person coming on the committee, they're gonna have a question about this and you say, and Ed knows this, it's a hell of a lot of work, right? To clean this up and it's a bit of silly to say, well, we're just gonna make a tree pit. Half of this sidewalk was redone, right?
And without your intervention,
Yes.
where would this be?
What would the tree be there?
Well, how would this, where the stump was removed?
Right.
Rick told me that it was the stump grinder's responsibility to remove the debris,
They didn't remove anything,
but they don't.
right?
And
And then, in this case,
the city also does not remediate sidewalk.
no, yeah, 2 strikes. And they left 20% of the stump in. Thanks for calling and bringing it back.
Brady Way?
Yeah, and they
Well, maybe we
did,
should
they
find
did a
somebody
beautiful
else to
job
do
on
it.
this one. Now I'm going
They're
down to
getting
45 West Fifth Street. Be interesting to see what the stump looks like. Yeah, again, it's covered, right? It's got 8 inches of debris on it. It's a killer. However, let's keep going because there's gonna be another thing here.
Where's
Milton and I
this, Rick?
talked about this before. City wants nothing to do with it, so we're gonna do this on our own, right? We've got
Where-
someone coming in.
Where are we here?
We're at 53 West 4th Street, right on from Alice's.
Okay.
If you stand in this place, Ed, and you look down towards Delaware Street, there is not a ripple in the sidewalk. You look all the way down to South Street, ditto. And there's this, right in the middle of this
This is on
thing.
the other side from your house?
No, this is 3 doors down, 4 doors down from me.
Yeah. this
And
is-
I called Milton, I said, well, said he'd take the
Yeah.
stuff away.
Doesn't look like
And
that
he said, I was hoping somebody in the neighborhood would do it,
legally.
and I did.
Yeah.
I paid somebody
To weed it?
to weed it, because it was so
What
disgusting.
about the homeowner?
There is no homeowner, it is an abandoned property, and until 2 days ago, it had signs on the door that said, you know, this is a bank owned or something like that,
Oh.
so.
No. It's all coming out, Alice.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
good.
this is a homeowner deal. This is the homeowner's responsibility.
And it's never going to happen.
I know, I
Yeah.
agree.
So what do you do, right? And this is a question I asked about the trees before.
Volunteers or it's not gonna happen.
Well, this is a volunteer, right?
Yes, sir.
So we knock it out,
This guy,
we're gonna re-brick it, right?
this guy who did the
That's
brick,
what you talked about.
Yep. And this is gonna look just like the 2 properties down the way that John Carter did.
we're going to be re-bricked.
All
It's
done
the
in
only
53D,
piece of
right?
Street that has concrete instead of bricks.
This is not gone now, right?
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
I know they've been bricking along there. Carter did some,
Carter did too.
not here.
This is the 3rd one.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Carter, is he the guy who did the brick for the,
Yeah.
what a great job he
they're
does.
beautiful.
That's good work.
And Tim Scully will, you know, Tim and I and someone else will be doing that area.
Yeah, that's right, he's a brick mason, isn't he?
He's excellent.
Yes.
So let's keep going because,
Okay.
again, you want to get on with it. I'm amazed that you're still here, but this is a serious issue, right?
Mhm.
The one coming up here, right? It's the one marked with the red paperclip on it, right?
Yeah,
Take that out if you would be so kind, right? Yeah. Well, this is the biggest disappointment I've had in the last 10 years. This is called flush cutting. And this is a real
who did this?
annoying thing for arborists and whatever, but there's 6 trees in town that, you know, belong to the city, they belong to you, they belong to the taxpayers, they belong to Jack Garnowski, who paid for a couple of them.
Well, you're talking about the street side being cut off?
This is on the lower, this
These
is
are all
lower
cut in
Delaware.
half.
It's on Delaware Street.
These are all cut in half.
When did
Wow,
this
this is south of, or whatever it would be,
This
of
is on-
Second.
This is on, across from the post office.
That's strictly across from the post
This
office.
is across from the Amstel House.
This is the whole down the whole street.
So who did it? Who did this?
And then the other one, turn to the very,
Lord.
to the very last page there. It, turn to this tree.
What happened?
I've heard it seen first.
Who did that?
Oh, it gets
Municipal services?
Here you have a tree cut in half, and what is beyond it? A sign, another
better.
tree,
So fast.
and a stop sign.
so.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Well, this is, some people have responded really, this is what happens when you use a chainsaw. And you cut the branches off.
Why?
Did municipal services do this? Is that what, that they did this?
This is,
You can say yes or no, right?
We could see what happened. The question is, when and by whom and, you know, what can we do about it?
well, the last 2 pages of this, it says, what happened on the street?
Okay.
Yeah, this is your homework. This was our policy. when I started, it was 20 feet away from the stop sign. By the way, all these trees are near stop signs. So this is a safety issue, I assume. And regarding the recent trees, 2 trees were flush cut 20 feet from the signs, 2 others 40 feet from the signs, and 2 trees were partially sheared 60 feet from the signs. The 7th instance, a new tree was flush cut 40 feet from the sign. That's the one on Delaware and Second Street.
These are new trees you just planted, aren't they?
Yes, ma'am. They've been watered for the last 5-6 years,
Oh,
and even the people that were watering them came recently to water, and of course, they water between 5th and 6th, and they said, what? And this is a 16-year-old boy saying, what did they do to my tree? You know, just hard to grasp. Anyway, this is an account, and on that last page, it says, going forward, this might be something you'd consider, right? A couple of proposals. Creation and subsequent city council approval for codes on the proper distancing of trees from stop signs, required walking space on sidewalks. Which, by the way, right now is 3 feet, right? Milt, I don't know what it's gonna be in the future. I'm just thinking, people need to think about this before they mow the trees down. Codification of tax role as an advisor to the city on all actions related to the city trees. I say this because you weren't asked about any of this, right?
No.
Nobody came to you and said, well, you know, we've got a safety issue here, or we've got some kind of issue, help us, right? This is your role. You're an advisor to the city. And whatever you put in, they can say, well, I don't know. But I think that Walcott put together a beautiful thing here. This is I think it's maybe a little yellow tag. It says, dear colleagues. Yeah. And Walcott is not a certified arborist, but he works with a certified arborist many times during the week. Yeah.
I don't know if I could interrupt you for a minute, given the late hour, and could we request that this be put on the agenda for the next meeting for us to discuss?
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing this to light.
Yeah.
I was unaware. I haven't seen any of this or heard anything about it.
Me either.
Great.
Well, you won't see me again, so what I'd like to do is just stop on the last 2 things. The document that I think was the most useful for me over the last 10 years was trying to explain to people that a small tree is not a little tree. It's pretty doggone big, right? And here's your London plane, Alice, you know, way out on the end. Ponderosa pine, redwoods, and plane trees.
Right.
They're way out there, but the trees we're trying to put in are the second one, you know, we could add to this list with the dogwood and flowering.
Or
plum
B,
or whatever, yeah.
redwoods.
Right.
But look at this last thing. I thought this was something that appeared in the paper. It says it's summer in New York. It's the summer New York's tree counters we're waiting for. So they go out and they count all the trees, and they get awards and the whole bit. We don't want rewards, awards, or accolades, do we? We don't want anything. But this is a good idea. I thought this might be an interesting way, you were talking about earlier, to get people involved in
Get
it.
people involved,
Well,
engaged,
Involved
right?
in what,
Mhm.
right? Well, here's something that people might be interested in,
I think that's.
given the fact that there are tree apps and all that sort of thing. Well, thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
right. You can identify a tree from an app, right?
Yep.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, Ron,
I'm.
painful.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that.
my heart goes
Now I'm
out.
not gonna be able to sleep.
I wake up every morning
Right.
right around 3 o'clock,
Oh,
and it takes me
oh,
roughly about an hour to get out of my stupor.
oh.
Yeah,
Thank you
but
very
I've
much.
gone up to each tree and held the trunk and said good words.
Hopefully that helps.
Well-
how can somebody do that knowing it's a baby tree even,
You
you
got
know?
6 trees. Now you might ask the question, and I'll shut up about all this. How did the trees do this summer? You didn't lose 1 tree until someone poisoned 2.
Right,
And now you've lost 6 more
right,
because someone.
in the long run, yeah,
Wasn't careful. Please take these trees down
yeah,
as quickly. Well, listen. I've already had a call from someone at Delaware Forestry, right? They're the people that give the grants. They're the people that give the, tell you that you're a tree-friendly city,
right, right,
platinum, gold, silver, whatever.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, do yourself and do the town a favor and get those off the street, okay?
Well, as long as we get the proof, we get the, agreement that then this will never happen again.
Does this
You know what I mean?
explain, does your documentation explain how this happened? I mean, I haven't read it yet, having just gotten it.
No.
So we're not privy to who's responsible for this?
Notified or something, I don't know. Ron,
Adios.
thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, Ron.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Well, obviously something, important has to be done to address this. That never happens, doesn't happen, but I'd have to read all this and, so I would make a.
There's no reading in it.
No,
It's all the pictures.
it's in the pictures. Okay, so there's no explanation.
No,
It just happened. By, their, I don't know, I'm just
we
theorizing,
use the chainsaw in this city.
either the city or the municipal services.
So I just wanna. You're talking about doing tree planting on where you have already approved over the years. The trees that are at the farm are gonna come over this fall to the Reed House. They gotta go in the ground or they're gonna be dead.
So why don't we plant them?
No, in the spring, but you have to figure out where to put them. They
We
can't
have-
live in those containers another year. They can overwinter, but not live in it.
so should we not be planting them in the fall? Or would that be too
You
much?
only have permission to plant 10 trees.
That was a suggestion, right?
Well,
Wasn't it just a suggestion?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing written in stone, but.
I mean, you're actually planting more.
But if we say these trees will die if we don't plant them,
They're not gonna die between now and next spring, but you also don't have any trees on order for next spring. You only ordered trees for this fall.
Well, I'm not clear on all that. It's hard to, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's hard to know exactly where we are. I have to talk to Ron more about that. Exactly what, we don't have, to my knowledge, we don't have a specific list of, number and location where they're going. I mean, maybe generally, but
What, for this fall?
Yeah.
I know exactly where they're going.
I thought we ordered trees for fall and spring.
No,
well, if we have
That-
14
that's what
trees
was
that have to
said
be
A
planted.
couple months ago, back in June, was that they had to be ordered all.
They do.
within 2 seasons,
they do.
but we didn't do that?
No. So that's what I'm saying. If you, by next meeting, come up with what you want, I can go back to Schmidt and Garden Gate and see if I can get them. But if you wait till January, you're not gonna get any trees.
Can you give us a list of the trees that are out in the farm so we know which ones they are, so where
Ron has that list.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask Ron.
Now, one's already coming over for this fall for Whitehead,
Oh, okay.
but I think there's 10 or 11, he said, that are still viable.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
But you have given, and it's not just recently, since I've been here, approval for planting trees, but they weren't necessarily in your 5-year plan,
Right,
which, Linda, the 5-year plan that, or I guess we're in the second or year at least, is to plant the west side of Delaware Street.
Right.
So that's where, like, these trees are going.
So it's more of a plan, like an overall plan, rather than, we're gonna plant these trees here, these.
Right, it's not a specific,
Right, yeah, okay.
It could be though.
Sure, it should be.
I mean, it should, yeah, it should be. But I don't, yeah, I don't know. I'll see what I can find out with Ron. Okay, are there any other general comments, discussion? Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I just had two quick comments.
Sure.
First,
Phil Brooks.
Phil Gross. First, I'd like to suggest maybe write like a really nice letter to Ron. He, since I've been here, he's just been amazing. Just a great guy and diligent with picking up where all the holes happen to be. Second, does anybody know there was a huge tree, and I remember being involved at different commissions. Big tree on Brylagan, huge tree, and they actually built the house so that it wouldn't hinder the tree.
Could you be more
Was it a
specific
city
about
tree though,
where
was
the-
it belong to the property?
Does anybody know where you're
Well,
talking
they
about?
don't have sidewalks. Would it, even if it was like right by the street, is it same as the city as far as, would it be a city street?
Where is that, Mr. Brooks?
If,
I didn't understand the street name.
East 13th off Moore, where I live, meets Brylagan or Bylagan.
I never have been able to figure out how to pronounce that.
Even if I'm reading it, I can't read
Well, what
it.
are you saying about the tree though now?
They cut it down.
Oh, okay, then it must have been the property owner's tree.
But if you get a chance, just take a look, because they actually, I remember when our mayor and past mayor was here, the planning commission and the Board of Adjustment actually had a meeting, and they built the house back and over away from the tree because it wasn't supposed to be taken down, I thought.
You said this is off of Moore's Lane?
No, it's where, it's actually off 9. So if you turn off 9 on Brylagan, it's right on your left, a house away from the barber shop. There's a barber shop on the corner.
Can you spell Brylagan? Seriously, I've never heard of it.
If I
I'm gonna
can
look it up.
interrupt you for a moment, one of the things that I did since joining was go through the whole city code to pull out anything that was related to TAC or street trees. And the code says, section 210-4, that all trees planted on public lands in the city are the property of the city and are designated as street trees. So the question for that tree is it planted on public land? The fact that it's right next to a street, that's irrelevant. It's a matter of, is that public land?
Well, and the same question is for city trees or trees planted along the cityscape. What makes them city trees or property of the street of the city, even though they might be planted, if there's no sidewalk in front of a city house and a tree's right there, does that make it a city tree?
It's kind of like all about where the tax parcel lines. Are situated. Like if it's outside of it, then it's considered a.
Do the parcels meet the street? Again,
No, like,
Accurate, but they're supposed to-
where I live, my house fronts up on a sidewalk. And the sidewalk is city property. My property line, actually, technically, the steps up to my front door are on city property.
all right, well, again, it's no big deal. And again, thank you all for monitoring and keeping track of the trees. And I might suggest in the next meeting, when you figure out guidelines of how you want to progress, figure out a way of communicating tighter with the city, maybe through Mr. Draper, as far as like whoever the chainsaw hacker is, who's reporting what to who, so that you guys are in the loop of whatever the city finds out, so that you can better decide on what actions you want to take.
Okay, thank
Thank
you for
you.
your comments.
Yep.
At this point, I would, like to propose a motion, that we adjourn the meeting.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you.